son of a bitch! Damn it! Oh my god, what in the small island shit is this?
You're on a tiny island surrounded by pirates.
Not my problem. I didn't do it.
Time to see what desert adaptation does for islands. Rename your cities.
Right, yeah, I gotta go with the customary pirate names for cities.
Okay, there we go.
So, do your armies only go up to 6 units? Is that,
6 units max in a stack, and up to 3 armies can reinforce another one. And reinforcement range is actually kind of far. It's like 2 or 3 hexes away.
Hey, Tangent, can you look at my stream real quick?
Sure.
Can you, do you see what I'm holding?
Is that... It's not a mini book of grudges, is it?
Yes, it is.
You son of a bitch! Damn it!
Not only
that is so cool. They've...
Not only that, it is completely usable.
Oh, is it a journal?
It is a journal, yeah.
That is cool.
I'm literally, now when I play games with people, when I say, you're going in the book, now I mean it.
Oh, man. That is badass looking, though.
I got it from a guy on Etsy.
Oh, that's okay. I thought that's honestly even cooler, actually, at this point. I thought you were saying that, like, there was a mini book of grudges that, like, Warhammer sent, and, like, this is the official one.
No. This is definitely made by somebody.
That's awesome, though. It's
like the
is it wood on the outside?
Bound. No, I don't know what this is. It's kind of a soft. It doesn't feel like.
It could have been 3D printed pieces or something like that. He's forcing the archers to have to disengage Burke. They're actually not going to be able to shoot right now. They're going to have to move away.
This is true, but he is leaving his flank wide open to spearmen.
That is true, and those spearmen will have the giant killer and cavalry killer ability that goes with them.
Oh, looks like Fairlight blocked the spearmen there from attacking his lord.
That will not stop them from blocking Burke, but what they might be doing is trying to strip away their reactionary attacks and attacks of opportunity.
This is true, and they still does leave his lord exposed to a counterattack by those spearmen.
It does, but the way we're looking here, I see a scout, I see a ranger, peasant pikemen, and some mounted. Actually, it's 2 scouts here. This is going to be a walk in the park for Fairlight, I think. Blocks get closed, moving the support unit up into the back. A perfect move there. If he goes into defensive mode there, it's going to do a area of effect that will boost both physical and magical defense by 2 for that entire block. Very efficient, Burke.
That'd be a very good play on his part. Let's see if he does it. Oh, and he does do the move.
And
yeah,
there it is.
He bolstered his troops there.
So now if you look over... Oh, it looks like it hasn't resolved all of their bonuses yet. Maybe it'll take hold after the aura subsides, but the pikemen should be benefiting from some extra defense at the moment.
Now he's about ready to drop some arrows on their heads here in just a second. Let's watch this tangent.
There we go. Probably a good 70% chance to hit on the dome. Looks like you managed to kill 1 scout, I think.
The peasants, they're fighting back with each other. That time, the Fairlight's units did. Whoa, there we go. A lot more damage.
Yep, and so
heavy damage there.
And here's one of the things about Age of Wonders. Sometimes it's better just to sit back at times. So obviously Fairlight needs to rush in, but those pikemen, they spent all of their action points while standing stationary, allowing them to get 3 full attacks instead of their normal 1 to 2.
I'm feeling like Fairlight here has a great opportunity to wipe out those archers in this turn, but he's going to have to do something to protect his polemen, because if they die here, they're dead for good.
Now, interestingly enough, oh, here we go, and there's the 3rd one. Those archers will go down. A morale hit will sweep across the enemy board, and Fairlight is looking set up for his next turn. I was about to say that it was looking like the AI was getting a little bit of the better of him at first with that interaction, but now things are starting to clean up nicely.
I never had any doubts in Fairlight. You know, we call him the human computer for a reason. He's typing out the ones and zeros in his brain at rapid succession speed. It's hard for the AI to keep up with that kind of power.
Indeed, Burke. It is the computating power of the human brain that is normally at a disadvantage against the AI, but move for move, Fairlight Excalibur is showing that he can keep pace with the machine.
You know, I've often had discussions with people about the AI takeover, and I told them a good counter to that would just be to clone more Fairlights.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Burke.
Anyway, that's a discussion for another day.
That is. And leaving now just 2 scouts. And, well, nowhere to go there. That one right there is trapped between all of the pikemen there. Fairlight Excalibur, tell us, how do you feel the first half went?
Well, I was a little bit nervous about sending in nothing but farmers with pitchforks to absorb the brunt of the attack, but then I remembered they're just farmers, and I've got thousands more of those, so who cares? So I use them as a meat shield while I ride in and do the real damage, because I have an actual weapon that was made by a blacksmith.
Spoken like a true champion and noble.
Spoken like a true leader of the people right there.
Got it from the Bretonia playbook.
It's a good playbook.
It's a safe playbook, but it's a good playbook. I think both of these adversaries brought their A game, but there could only be one winner, Burke. And today, it's looking pretty cut and dry. Fairlight Excalibur is going to take the win.
I think the enemy team needs to go back to the drawing book. They have to look at their team because this was an awful display.
Absolutely. There's blood all over the ground. There's going to be certainly some widows, some foster children, perhaps. It's not looking good for that side, Burke.
Plenty of vacancies on our farms for them, too. In fact, we have a quarry on the north side of town that's looking a little understaffed right now.
I start with like three casters in this. This and should have done this first.
What happened to Burke Madden commentary?
Well,
Madden is taking the field.
You know. Yeah, he's on the field.
It's gonna be rough. Starting out, these units are very soft.
It looks like he's getting hit in the face with a sword. That's usually what you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Boom!
That's right, Fairlight. Avoiding, sharp metal to the face would be advisable in this situation.
The great thing about being a skeleton is you're already dead, so it looks like those guys mostly don't care about getting stabbed in the face. In fact, they're all full health again.
Oh, that is just a fantastic play there. Electrocuting the archers in the back, but they're still back there and they can still lay some fire down, so we'll see what he can do about the rest of that. Holy shit, and a unit's down.
See, now the great thing about Tangent's enemies here is they're actually still alive, which means they can be killed.
Which is also bad for the opponent because as a Dark Lord of Sorcery, he could resurrect them back as zombies, as he just did.
Now that right there is a classic example of why you don't want to die.
That's a classic example.
You might be turned into a zombie to then kill your friends too. So while you're out there, don't die.
The good news is that once you're dead, though, and you get raised as a zombie, you don't really have any consciousness that you're killing, maiming, and eating your own friends.
Also, technically, as a zombie, you're now on the winning team. So I guess by dying, you actually win. So, you know, now that I've had time to think about it, I've reconsidered. You should go ahead and die while you're out there.
I mean, that's a great take, but also it's important to keep in mind that when you are raised as a zombie in the battle, at the battle end, you simply turn to dust.
Okay, so let's go back to the don't die part. Let's stick with the don't die plan.
Don't die is probably the best way to go.
It looks like there's been some confusion on the enemy team here. The die versus don't die debate has clearly got them split up in their decision making.
It does look like those archers in the back are now decimated.
Yeah,
and
see, they went for the die option, right? But
yeah,
I guess they just missed the memo that that's not the plan anymore.
Oh, and another one bites the dust. This is not looking good for the enemy team. Now, see, what Tangent wants to do here is he wants to get behind those archers and flank them, but instead he's going to zap them with his green laser light.
See, now we've clearly established that staying alive is probably the best play, but I think it's a little too late for these guys to change their game plan. They're sticking with the just die on the spot maneuver.
Yeah, it was too far gone. I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board. Better luck next season. Tangent.
Yeah.
We just had an old man moment.
I know. Oh, I know we did. I absolutely like. It's the same thing as like my dad talking to me about like, I used to be able to go bowling for 40 cents a string.
Back in my day.
You'd bring $5 and you'd play all night.
Damn it, man. I used to go to McDonald's in high school and they had like, you know, they had 50-cent Tuesdays and some shit. You got the classic hamburger for 50 cents.
It's like
my friends used to go there, buy like a sack of 10, take them back over to the house and play PlayStation all damn night.
But first, you probably stopped at like the 24-hour Walmart if your town had one, got some chips or something.
Oh, yeah.
Because in our neck of the woods, Walmart was 24 hours back then, and like right next to Wendy's and stuff like that. So you grab a burger, then go get some chips, then go to D&D or something like that.
Yeah, man. That freaking there's the place here that my chat told me about in Indiana called Dungeons and Donuts.
Yep.
And I was like, man, I can't wait to go over there. And then me and my dad were passing it the other day, and I was like, hey, you want to go Dungeons and Donuts? We'll pick up a donut or something, you know, and split it. And he's like, cool, yeah, let's go over there. They're closed.
Of course.
Like closed, like shutting down, closed.
What do they have, like $50 donuts?
Oh shit, I don't know.
Combat.
I was in the middle of a diplomacy screen. I hope this.
Oh shit! Sorry, I didn't know that was gonna.
Well, no, I didn't. I'm just wondering how it treats it because somebody else approached me. It was like an AI approaching me saying, "Hey, you there?" And then this fight started. At first, I thought I got attacked.
It'll still be there. Look at this battlefield, huh?
The terrain's pretty
Tangent style. The undead in the desert, the classic battle scenario here. I love it.
Okay, Cetra, I need you to calm down.
No, hey, yo, we're Nagash today.
I like that this has turned into Bretonia versus Tomb King. We haven't seen Burke's army yet, have we?
Oh, they be
not yet.
Everywhere, matey.
Okay, so that's interesting unit there. Gonna do. I want to save the souls, I think. That was not nearly as satisfying as I was hoping.
We expect better from our people who throw blue rave lights.
Oh.
I mean, purple rave lights.
I actually thought I was gonna zero that one out. Ah, you are so in trouble.
Still wish Paradox would look into doing extensions for their games.
Oh, me too. That would be so fun.
What, like mouse over and see their stats for viewers kind of a thing?
Exactly that.
Magic the Gathering Arena has that, and it's amazing.
That's what I keep telling them. Dude, all they have to do is that they don't even have to, like, the assets are already there. So if I'm hovering over 30 of 30, you know, this is combat casting. You know, it's already in the game. They just need to make an extension to allow the viewers to do that, so they don't have to be like, what's that? What's that over there? What's that?
What about that?
You guys have a lot of,
What
like,
about that?
accuracy things going on.
I might have to talk to Jonathan again about this. I just think it would help their games being streamed so much better.
This combat's looking kind of.
Yeah, that's
Out
the
of sync.
big problem.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is what we got to do all the time.
Uh-oh.
This, I don't know about the like green lasers and poison. This is looking kind of dishonorable.
No. Everything is
know.
up to code. Everything.
I don't know. I don't know if my warlords are gonna see it that way. This is looking a little dishonorable to me.
Well, to be fair, they're Lord Commander Fairlight. They are undead, and they don't really care about honor. since they're already dead.
Oh, that explains so much.
Yeah.
We do care about honor, just very little.
Yeah. Unhonorable undead.
So I built a military outpost like just outside my own city. And I immediately got one of those 3 prince dudes being like, excuse me. I noticed you built an outpost on this very promising looking stretch of land.
Hey, Pog, doing pretty good, bud. How you doing?
No disconnects yet, but definitely some reloading going on here.
Well, you know, while you're getting on their dev team about getting that browser extension, maybe also ask them to, hey, maybe stop making us relaunch the game, restart all the battles.
Yeah.
Listen, okay, you only do one issue at a time. That's all I can do for you.
These snakes are so cool for a tier 2 unit. Nicely done. So basically,
Does it change how you feel? Is the question.
So if this was to happen, like let's say 5 years has gone by and this happens like today, I get this I'm proposing and I get this reply that they're a machine.
Yeah.
So like, it's a bot. The singularity hasn't happened. It's like it would be some elaborate, like Boston Dynamics, like machine that's probably like recording the last 5 years and being exposing how like, you know, unknowingly cringe I'm being about like thinking I'm in love with something. But the reality is that it's not even worth entertaining, because at this stage in the game, it's not even more than a prompt.
For you, it's from an alternate future or some bullshit story that you want to make up of it being an intelligent
So you're
AI
basically
machine.
asking me if I'm okay with dating robots. Is that basically what you're asking? If they're if I'm okay with dating robots? People date dolls already. I wouldn't do it.
So it's a no?
Yeah, absolutely not. I'm not.
Okay, that's what I needed to know.
Dude, I'm not gonna let some word prompt set me up for like divorcing me of half of my stuff and then being like laughed at on Reddit. Come on.
Sorry. Tangent not cool with any robot toasters and love. How about you, Fairlight?
I didn't say that. I do whatever makes you happy. I wouldn't necessarily do it, and I wouldn't get married to a robot.
You hate robots. Let's move on. All right, Fairlight?
Yeah, I hate them. Those robots. Not literally. Or literally, if you want to.
I would say I probably wouldn't disqualify this person based on them being a machine. Not immediately. Not based solely on that. So in other words, yes, I would date a robot, but with a massive asterisk afterwards, because that opens up a million other questions that need to be explored.
Sure.
And one of those questions may, at that point, say it's a no-go. For example, like I wouldn't say no immediately. Sure, I would date a robot with several qualifications. For example, who built it? Who controls it? Can it simply be reset or memory wiped? Like there's a long list of questions.
It locks eyes passionately with you when you're streaming to some office with CEOs or something.
So like the fact that it's a robot implies that it's been created or controlled by something else. So now I need to know what is that something else.
Right, like this isn't just some whimsical world where like sentient robots are reproducing themselves. Somebody built that, is recording everything. You know what they're doing? They're probably going to try and sell you a Roomba or something like that. They're mapping your house. like they're mapping your house. They're knowing when you're asleep. All it is just like ads with extra steps.
Somewhere there's in another
ads that you could
universe
is basically what it is.
There's a tangent out there that's in a trailer park saying the government's coming after me. I'm gonna watch out for them. They're trying to steal my Warhammer miniatures.
Okay, yeah, no, there's so many questions here. I said a massive asterisk, and now chat's like, yeah, what if it's just a massive ass? Like, you gotta compare. Like, asterisk. Like, it just the booty outweigh the complications. I would say, okay, for starters, why didn't you tell me sooner? We've been together for 5 years.
Valid.
Secondly, like, at least in the modern world, like in the world that we currently live in, real life, there's no such thing as like an independent robot, right?
Yeah.
So that means that it was built by and is owned by and programmed by somebody. Now, maybe if we put this in like a theoretical alternate world where like the concept of an independent robot is a thing, maybe that wouldn't be a concern. But here in reality, it is a concern. I need to know who built it. I need to know who built it and why and what's their goal, because like, I like at that point, I would struggle to accept that this robot isn't just a pawn of somebody else.
And you've already signed the user end license agreement with the verbal contract they have on camera.
I signed the EULA without even reading it, so for all I know, they have my house.
So, like, just to be clear, there's no wrong answer on this question, because the whole point is how you feel about the scenario. My opinion, like you, like with what Fairlight's saying, all very valid concerns.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's just a question of does them being a robot change my feelings on the matter, besides the other stuff Fairlight is bringing up, my answer is no, because like, you know, I think love is just such a hard-ass thing to find in this world, and if you find it with somebody, you know,
I believe that love exists. It just has to be real.
And to be clear, it does change my feelings on the subject. Like, I wouldn't say it doesn't change my feelings on the subject. Like, for example, robots, you're not going to be able to have a kid. So that's like the immediate first question.
That's a big thing for some people. Yeah, absolutely. But you can't adopt.
Yeah, that's true. You could. Do you want to? Like, it brings a lot of questions into the into this dynamic, you know?
Like I said, there's no wrong answer. It's just an interesting philosophical discussion to kind of throw out there and see what people, how they feel about it. Would you date a battle sister?
No, probably not.
I love everyone in chat that's like saying yes, and they don't really know what that entails and what would happen.
Like, first of all, you're assuming that if a battle sister is in the vicinity of you, that something awful is either happening or they're not there to kill you.
Not to mention,
I would rather date the robot.
Yeah, I would rather date the robot too than date a sister of battle.
I would. And here's how this goes, right? I break up with the robot, say I'm not sure how I feel about a machine, all right? I meet the battle sister. I realize how good I had it with the robot. I go back to the robot. I go crawling back to the robot on my hands and knees saying, please take me back.
It's almost as bad as Chad is like saying, I would go with Slanesh so that I can get with all the pornographic activity.
It's like, you think realize, that's what you're going to be doing as they direct you over to the lobster with the spike-filled crevice.
Yeah. And don't forget because Slanesh is basically Hellraiser porn, not the other way. Not the kind that you're
They're
thinking.
like, welcome to the orgy champion, and you're like, yes, and then like a whole bunch of like Chaos Marauders walk in the room, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
And a demon prince. You know what this game would like be amazing with if they took it from Stellaris? I'm not sure if I'm remembering this term correctly, but it's like the Unity bonuses or something. Like they're the big milestone ones you get after completing like the tech tree or the harmony tree. And that's when you get to like specialize into, you know, going down the chain towards mega structures.
Oh yeah.
If they had that kind of stuff, the Ascension system in this game, I think that would just be amazing.
Here we go. Manual fight time.
So what are you thinking about it after having a couple of turns with the Fairlight?
It's interesting for sure. There's a lot of stuff like the effectiveness, for example, of like various buff spells. I don't know how good they are.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I don't really have a solid grasp of like the magic system in the game, for example, but the economy and city building is really fun. It reminds me a little bit of Northgard, if you guys ever saw that one.
Yeah, that was a good little one.
With Vikings, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played Northgard forever. If that makes sense.
I think there are a couple. I could be wrong. I think you just need to have like the prerequisite is just a previous book of a certain tier. Like I don't think you necessarily need to follow like the order book line.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Because I'm pretty sure just his prerequisite is just like 2 tier 2 or 3 tier 2
no, not
tomes.
You go back.
So I think the affinity is just like.
Why is it so hard to select the other unit?
With the whatever that green freaking Imperium, right?
Yeah.
It's boosting that. Yeah, I think you're actually right. Like some of those, especially in like the Shadow Tree, man. Once you get to the point where you're like raise undead army, you're like, oh, it means I can raise a unit? No, an entire army.
Yep.
Stack of 6, just raise an undead army. Oh
my! It's all
God.
tier 1, I think, but it's still like super good.
The AI is pretty smart. It intentionally sits just outside your archer range before pushing in.
Yeah, I like that.
Better than Warhammer 3 units that'll just kind of line up. And
no, the AI is pretty darn smart, even with the quick battles. If you let it do it itself too.
That's because their AI is empowered by ChatGPT.
Never know. Not too far off.
You guys ought to look at those YouTube videos where like Skyrim or other games are NPCs powered by ChatGPT.
Wait,
and watch those
what is
videos.
this?
Do they actually have that out? Yeah, I've been waiting for something
Yes.
like that.
No, there's no mod. There's no mod for us yet. I think so they might have rigged something together in another way.
Oh, but just showing like procedural NPCs.
Procedural NPCs that are just talking to you in random stuff. The only problem is like they're still kind of like they still feel like they're in a video game, you know? Like you're asking it, like the player comes up and is like, hey, what dungeon should I do? And they go, for your level, you should probably stick to the beginner dungeon, you know? Like you're like, what?
Oh, so it's not in character, basically.
Not in character, not that what we saw, no. They're trying to fix that though. They want to incorporate it to where you can talk to it like it's an in character and it will talk like it's in character in Skyrim. And it's fully voiced too on top of that, so damn. That's gonna be a for small indie devs that can't afford good voice actors and good writing and shit like that, man. Like they're gonna be able to just like use ChatGPT and some voice algorithm thing to like fully voice their games on a indie game. Jeez,
I would
man.
love to get into game development, but I'd basically reload.
Shit.
Crap, it can do that? It just jumped over my line. It jumped my archers.
Yeah.
It faded to black on our side.
Yeah, it faded to black as the spider jumped over my pikemen and landed on my archers. And I was like, that's not a good sign. But yeah, I've already been
them
seeing
spinning around.
I see it. Yeah, I see it.
I've seen,
That's just like
ads,
Benny
like-
Hill. I don't know why it's so amusing to me.
well, now they're spinning for me too.
And the spiders are just tap dancing noisily constantly. Oh my god.
You seen ads for what?
Aggressive flamenco begins. I've seen ads like popping up on my browser for like, it's like raise a kingdom, talk to your people, powered by ChatGPT.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm like, wait, what? I've never actually used any of them because it's always those crappy browser games that are gonna try and bait you into installing extensions on your computer.
Yeah.
But I've seen the same stuff you're talking about where it's like, I don't know how they're implementing it exactly. Maybe one of these times I'll actually click it and see what they're up to.
I mean, look at it this way. They have AI that can help you write code for a video game. They have you can use you can use assets. It can generate the assets for your video game. Now they have 3D asset generating.
Oh my!
You know, AI art, and you have the AI that can make the dialogue for your game. So like,
Burke, you want to make a game?
I know it's like you could just. I want to try this. Like, I want to sit down. I'm sure it would take hours and hours of time to figure it out. But like, I'm curious, like, how much of a video game can I make purely just off of AI?
Oh, I thought I would get op attacked for walking away. Why didn't it op attack?
Did you have something that cancels it?
No, not really. Not that I know of. I don't think these archers have any kind of trait for just walking away. Oh, maybe because like, so in this game, is an op attack and a retaliation strike the same thing?
Yes. If it spends one, it doesn't get the other.
Okay, so it attacked my pikemen as they walked up, so I guess.
Okay, so yeah, that would be the reason why.
I
Retlock.
used the healing spell on those guys to keep them alive too.
By the way, my chat's telling me that you need, at tier 4, you need 6 affinity of that type to unlock the tome when you get to that point.
Oh.
To be eligible for
You need
the for that.
Oh, so the original way was correct. You still have to go with that tomb.
Yeah.
That thing. Okay, so you have to like pick your school of magic basically.
Yes.